$25,500. That is what one passenger paid for screaming at flight attendants, throwing food, and locking herself in the bathroom for half an hour. She walked onto that plane a regular traveler. She walked off in handcuffs, with a fine bigger than most people make in 6 months. And here is the thing. She is not alone. The FAA tracked over 1,500 incidents of unruly passenger behavior in 2025 alone. They collected $2.2 million in fines. Some passengers faced penalties exceeding $43,000 per violation. And one incident can have multiple violations stacked together. The rules have changed. What you could get away with 5 years ago will destroy your wallet today. Or worse. It will put you on a no-fly list that follows you everywhere. So let me walk you through 15 things you should absolutely never do on a plane in 2026. Some of these seem obvious. Others might surprise you, but every single one can lead to fines, bans, or federal charges. Let us begin. Number 1. Do not drink your own alcohol on the plane. I know, you bought those little bottles at duty-free. You paid for them fair and square. But the moment you crack one open on that aircraft, you just committed a federal violation. Here is the law. You can only consume alcohol that is served to you by a flight attendant. Period. They are trained to cut people off before things escalate. When you bypass that system, you bypass the only safeguard between you and a very bad decision at 35,000 feet. One man brought his own whiskey on a flight to Tokyo. 3 drinks in, he started getting loud. 4 drinks in, he was aggressive. By drink 5, he had to be restrained with zip ties. He now faces up to 20 years in prison. If you want a drink, ask the crew. They will serve you. Just do not bring your own party. Number 2. Never argue with a crew member. This is where most people get themselves in trouble. A flight attendant asks you to do something and you decide to debate it. Maybe you think they are wrong. Maybe you had a bad day. Maybe you just do not feel like moving your bag. None of that matters. Flight attendants have federal authority on that aircraft. When they give you an instruction, it is not a suggestion. It is not open for discussion. Refusing to comply is interference with crew duties. That is a federal offense carrying fines up to $43,000. The smartest move is always the same. Nod. Say okay. Do what they ask. If you have a legitimate complaint, file it after you land. But on that plane, in that moment, cooperation is mandatory. Number 3. Do not ignore the seatbelt sign. Every time that light comes on and you stand up anyway, you are gambling with your life. A Singapore Airlines flight hit severe turbulence in 2024. 1 passenger died. 70 others were injured. People who were not buckled in hit the ceiling with enough force to shatter bones. The cabin looked like a disaster zone. Turbulence gives 0 warning. 1 second, everything is calm. The next second, you are airborne whether you want to be or not. When that sign is on, stay seated. When it goes off, move quickly and sit back down. Your bathroom break is not worth a head injury. Number 4. Never smoke or vape anywhere on the aircraft. I should not have to say this in 2026. Smoking has been banned on planes for decades. Vaping falls under the same rules. Every single lavatory has a smoke detector. These sensors are extremely sensitive. Even a small puff from an e-cigarette will trigger them. When that alarm goes off, the crew has to treat it as a potential fire emergency. And here is what most people do not realize. Tampering with a smoke detector is a federal crime by itself. One passenger thought he was clever and covered the sensor with wet paper. He got caught. He got charged. He now has a federal record. Do not smoke. Do not vape. Not in the lavatory. Not anywhere. Save it for when you land. Number 5. Never make jokes about bombs or weapons. It does not matter how obviously you are kidding. It does not matter if you smile when you say it. On an aircraft, any reference to explosives or threats is taken completely seriously. A woman on an Air Canada flight was asked about her oversized bag. She said there was a bomb in it. She meant it as a joke. The entire terminal was evacuated. A bomb squad was called in. The flight was delayed 2 hours. She faced criminal charges. 1 sentence, 2 seconds, months of legal problems. Flight crews are required by law to report these comments. They cannot use discretion. They cannot look at your face and decide you were joking. The words leave your mouth and the protocol activates automatically. Number 6. Do not get drunk. Alcohol affects you differently at altitude. The pressurized cabin environment means one drink up there hits like 2 or 3 on the ground. Your judgment fails faster. Your impulse control disappears sooner. Most serious aircraft incidents involve alcohol in some way. Passengers who seemed perfectly fine at the gate become aggressive after a few drinks. They start arguments. They refuse instructions. They end up restrained in their seats. Airlines can legally refuse to board anyone who appears intoxicated. They can also cut you off at any point during the flight. If you argue about it, you just added interference with crew duties to your problems. Know your limit. The sky is not the place to find out where it is. Number 7. Never touch a crew member. This happens more often than you would think. A passenger wants attention, so they tap a flight attendant on the shoulder. They grab an arm. They pull on a sleeve. Stop. Flight attendants are federally mandated safety professionals. Touching them without consent can be classified as assault. And assault on a flight crew member is a federal offense with penalties up to 20 years in prison. If you need something, raise your hand. Make eye contact. Press the call button once. Wait for them to come to you. That is the protocol. Now, speaking of knowing how to handle yourself while traveling, I created something called the Airport Survival Guide. It covers everything from dealing with gate agents who give you the runaround to getting compensation when airlines mess up your trip. It breaks down your passenger rights under the new 2026 regulations. It shows you exactly what to say and what to document when things go wrong. Canceled flights, lost bags, denied boarding, all of it. The link is pinned in the description if you want to check it out. All right, back to the list. Number 8. Never put your feet on anything except the floor. I understand long flights are uncomfortable. Your legs cramp, your feet swell, everything hurts. But putting your bare feet on the seat in front of you, on the armrest, on the tray table, that is where you cross a line. Beyond being deeply inconsiderate to everyone around you, airplane surfaces are not clean. Those tray tables have bacteria counts that would horrify you. That carpet has absorbed spills and footsteps from thousands of passengers. Keep your shoes on. Keep your feet down. Bring compression socks if you need comfort. But do not inflict your toes on strangers sharing a metal tube at altitude. Number 9. Do not hog the overhead bin. The space directly above your seat is meant for the passengers in that row. It is not first come, first served. It is not a free-for-all. When you throw 3 bags into the first open bin you see, you create problems for everyone who boards after you. Flight attendants end up playing luggage Tetris. Boarding slows to a crawl. Tempers flare. One carry-on goes in the bin above your seat. Your personal item goes under the seat in front of you. That is the system. Respect it. Number 10. Never let your kids run loose in the cabin. Traveling with children is hard. I get that. But an airplane cabin is not a playground. It is not a space for running up and down the aisle or climbing on seats. A child running during turbulence becomes a projectile. A child disturbing other passengers creates confrontations nobody wants. A child kicking the seat in front of them for 3 hours straight makes everyone miserable. Surveys consistently show that children running in the aisles is rated as the single most annoying passenger behavior. It beats drunk passengers. It beats seat recliners. It tops the list every time. Bring activities, bring snacks, bring headphones, keep them occupied and keep them in their seat. Number 11. Do not recline without checking first. Yes, your seat reclines. Yes, you paid for that seat, but the person behind you paid for their space too. When you slam that seat back without warning, you might crash into their laptop. You might spill their drink. You might hit their knees if they are tall. Physical fights have broken out over seat reclining. Flights have been diverted. People have been arrested. All because someone could not take 2 seconds to glance behind them. Before you recline, just turn around. Make eye contact. Give a nod. That tiny gesture prevents enormous problems. Number 12. Never leave your trash everywhere. Those seat pockets are not personal garbage cans. The floor around your seat is not a landfill. Flight crews have incredibly tight turnaround times between flights, sometimes less than 30 minutes to clean and prep the entire cabin. When you leave a disaster zone behind, you might delay the next flight. The trash bag comes through the aisle multiple times. Use it. Hand over your cups and wrappers. It takes zero effort and makes a real difference. Number 13. Do not try to open emergency exits. This sounds insane, but it happens regularly. Intoxicated passengers, people having mental health crises, travelers who simply snap under pressure. Attempting to open an emergency exit mid-flight is one of the most serious offenses possible. It endangers everyone on board. It will result in immediate physical restraint. It will result in arrest upon landing. It will result in federal charges that can carry decades in prison. In 2019, a British woman tried to open the door on a flight to Turkey. The Royal Air Force had to escort the plane back to London. She was banned for life and faced criminal prosecution. There is no coming back from that. Ever. Number 14. Never film the crew during disagreements. Yes, you have a phone. Yes, you can technically record in public spaces. But shoving a camera in a flight attendant's face during a tense moment is not documentation. It is escalation. When you start filming, the crew cannot do their jobs properly. The situation cannot be de-escalated. Everything becomes a performance. Some countries have laws against recording crew members without consent. Some airlines have policies that can result in your removal from the flight. If you have a real complaint, file it properly after you land. Take notes. Get names. But put the phone away and let people do their jobs. Number 15. Never forget the rules have changed. This might be the most important thing I say today. The flying environment of 2026 is completely different from 5 years ago. Fines are higher than ever. Enforcement is stricter than ever. Airlines share information about problem passengers. The FAA maintains databases. What used to get you a warning now gets you a fine. What used to get you a fine now gets you on a no-fly list. What used to affect one airline now affects multiple carriers. And everything is filmed now. Other passengers record constantly. Incidents go viral within hours. Your worst moment becomes your permanent public identity. Here is the reality. You are sharing a pressurized metal tube at 35,000 feet with 200 strangers. That requires a social contract. That requires basic consideration. That requires following rules you might find annoying. The passengers who understand this have smooth flights. They get where they are going without drama. They do not become cautionary tales or viral videos. The passengers who think rules do not apply to them, they end up on the evening news explaining how they got fined $43,000 for refusing to put their tray table up. Which one do you want to be? If this helped you, send it to a friend or family member who has a trip coming up. They will thank you later. And if you are not subscribed yet, now is a good time. Safe travels out there.